Hey, Jessica. You get everything turned into. Girl, this time such a load. I know. I don't doubt it. I was going down to Conville. Then I couldn't get court to work because something bad. Yeah. Yeah. So this I knew Hayden was going to be there like last night. I should. Hey, how are you? I'm just trying to get used to this earlier one. Okay, well, I'm gonna meet City Club, so I will talk to you when I leave here and let you know what I'm getting out. All right, bye. One of those spots, the restaurant. But it's big next one, you don't have three, but somebody else would it's 17 backyards we sold that night. The only reason we didn't sell one was here anytime lately. And it's like we got, you know, we are very competitive. If he's answering the phone and waiting for customers on things, we need to do this. Some sales. Also, he mentioned this, and I thought of it on the real estate guy. I thought of it on this software doing just put those page. I said, man, we're not going to be creating the other stuff and the service directory thing. And that would be great. We could add that in there. We could build. I mean, there's so much potential that we could create. Now, he's going to talk about this. What do you think cards on that page? Oh yeah, most of the time they are. And we can a church directory is done. I keep using this example. $560. I leave the church directory and make 100 and do it. And all I need is sit on the phone, call it. Every time the hole comes up, we build back up. Stay on top of it. So manage all of those holes. Hey, Bill.
How y'all?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hey, you got Jessica taking time off.
I mailed her package out yesterday.
Huh?
I mailed her package out yesterday. I didn't think I'd bring it
You
today.
know, Polly had asked about it, and then she went back to South America. She to have her baby. So, how you been, Liz?
I'm being good. I talked to a fan of yours the other day.
Oh, Joe Marsh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that filter down.
Honest.
Yeah, I get along good with him. I don't know. I might need to go see him again now. Y'all make any progress?
Yeah, actually, I think he's fixing to run some ads over in the Oxford Citizen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We do that. Hopefully it will work good.
He has to be stretched out financially.
Yeah. Oh, I think he would have ended up buying, you know, he sold the Gazette building.
I mean, well, Clay told me that we had a buyer.
Yeah, well, I think the closing hasn't happened yet, or his money's been passed, and now it's in that stage. And he went and talked to Joe and offered him the property first option, and I think that was, and you know, the strange thing, they were wanting to use some of our land to park some cars on because they're under all this construction.
Ongoing.
So I went and talked to him and was like, okay, what if we let you park over there? And he's going, what's my advertising obligation going to be? So that's how the conversation got started with Joe. And you know, he thinks he owns New Albany. And
everything else.
yeah, and but he was very interested in the Oxford Citizen. So we were fixing it, and so I left there. And the next day, Clay sends me an email that says, okay, I know you were talking to Joe the other day, so I'm sure you have his cell phone number. Can you give it to me or set up time I need to go see him? And I was like, did you sell our property? He said, I'll tell you more this afternoon. Sure enough.
Who bought it, do you know?
Somebody in Alabama is all we know. We're homeless. We're going to be homeless soon.
Bill, this is
Yes,
Bill always talks about
a big one. Because when you put them in the air conditioning. Yeah, well, that's what everybody's laughing. They're going, yeah, you know, we all hear it.
Okay.
Oh. I'm really smart. You're who?
Teresa McDonald.
My sister is. Well, I have a sister-in-law.
Yeah.
My sister was Teresa. I was McDonald.
Hey, Emily. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Y'all been doing okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to sell for
Oh.
I had 33 weeks.
33.
And I gotta get me to that 32. Y'all never see her?
No.
Never?
She at the door and
From what I understand, she's just living the good life. Whenever I bring. It's out there tonight. It's so good to see. I wish she's so good. I did. I like it. I don't make some choice. Yeah, I'll be good for that. I'm happy for her. Got here Monday and wasn't nobody here. Jessica wasn't here. She come in dinner. Lee wasn't here. Philip wasn't here. And Chelsea was here. She was here. We had a. And then yesterday I looked up. Everybody went to lunch, but me and Ross were at home right off the wall. So she know why I didn't say that. They leave. She said, they wouldn't have left me, so I stayed, somebody else come in and leave her back
Emily, are you from Akron? Do you know Russell?
I did.
Russell's a friend. And I have another friend who is, I think she's a music director, and I don't know her married name. It's been there a long time.
Music director in school.
Methodist Church, I think, over there, and I think of her name. Her brother brother and I were good friends, and my sister and her were best friends in high school.
But now there's another Baptist church.
It may be the other one. And she may not be the primary, I know that. I don't think her name is.
Russell and
Russell's from Ground Farm. Manatee. Yeah, he just moved his mom last year from over there. Greg can take care of him. Russell's a good guy. Is he still with the city planner?
Judy recently retired, so she said she's been cooking meals.
Oh, yeah. Russell's always been a very likable guy. He came up here before he got, what was he doing? He was with the bank for a long time. It was in that interim period, he came up here and worked for a few months for a while.
Okay. So I'm wondering, that's all I say.
As you requested.
Don't mind sitting here. Well, I only needed to move it much to make my. But I got to know one day, like, oh, your coworker is a white card takes care. I was like, so I tried to get her to first behind me, so we really like, she just everything found out, like, they're like, oh my God, I watched the person found out that much, and she was like looking at me, trying to sit it in my rearview mirror. It was so awkward. I'm like, get out here. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I would guess some of that. All right, let's get started. Thank you all for being here. Hope everybody is having a good morning and having a good week. We will jump right in because, as usual, we have a lot of ground to cover. New faces. Any new faces in the group?
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm from Amory.
Welcome. Any other new faces in the group?
Where's Richard?
Tim's on vacation.
Oh, okay.
He came in yesterday.
Yeah, Richard.
Yeah, he's on vacation, but he did delay departing or his vacation to meet with Lisa and me yesterday morning. So I guess that's commendable. So at any rate, let's see. We've got a lot of ground to cover, as I said, so we'll just jump right in. I'm gonna let Ellie go first. She's going to discuss something with y'all about mud and magnolias. We've got a ways to go. Weekly, we need y'all's help. We need y'all to really drive this home this week. This Friday, tomorrow is a hard and firm deadline. We need y'all to get that on in. But we're going to offer something that we hope will help with this issue and also the next one and subsequent issues. To get people back that are not with us. I'm tired of people running in these other publications and not with us, and we need to change that. So, Ellie, go ahead. She'll talk about that and anything else nature related.
Okay. I'm going to send this out, all the details in an email, so don't worry about, writing. Just listen to me and that way. I didn't mean for that to sound like okay. So we are trying to, for lack of a better term, like make an attack plan against some of our competitors who are consistently getting business either from us or maybe some of our advertisers are running in both of our products, but they're spending less money because they're putting money in Invitation and Social South and some other magazines that are around in our market. And we know we have the best product, and we know we can offer them more than any of our other competitors can. But if we need some momentum to gain that and something to go in, some ammunition to make the shot, we are going to offer for a period of time this promotion. The period is going to be this issue, April, May, which you only have a day and a half after we get out of this meeting, and then the June, July issue, the sales cycle for June, July. Okay, so this is not like long term. We're going to make it really concentrated for this issue and the June, July issue sales cycles. The advertiser has to run in a competing publication. So I just mentioned Invitation and Social South, but if there's another product, and we have DeSoto Magazine, At Home in Memphis, any of those types of products, and I have most of those, and so if you want to come to me and you want to flip through prospects, please do. And not regularly running in Mud and Mag, okay? So running in a competitor's publication, but not regularly running in Mud and Magnolias. This is the offer. If the advertiser will at least buy a quarter page for at least a 3-time commitment, okay, on the magazine agreement. It needs to be at least a quarter page and at least 3 times. Then they'll also get an additional run in Mud and Mag. So if they buy 3 runs in Mud and Mag, they'll get 4, but they won't pay for that last one, okay? A free quarter page in the daily journal to be used within the year. And also a free quarter page in any weekly of their choice to be used within the year. Okay, so that's 3 free ads that they're getting if they'll commit to 3 times in Mud and Magnolias at least a quarter page. That value cannot be matched by any of our competitors. I think we'll all agree with that. Does anyone have any questions about that? Again, I'm going to send this out detailed. You're going to have it in front of you. If you have any issues you see with that or something that you want to bring to my attention, please feel free. But that is the first offer. And then also I wanted to mention kind of phase 2 of this plan is starting with the June, July issue. We are going to pull out of Union County and Pontotoc County Daily Journal home deliveries. Just say in Lee County. But as part of that, we're going to have over 10,000 copies that we'll be able to mass distribute in all markets over the course of 2 months. I've had that feedback from several of you about trying to compete with invitations, perception that they're everywhere because they're out in all of these areas. And at the end of the day, if we're putting the majority of our copies in the journal and it's going straight to the home, there are no eyes seeing it in between there. And the only way we can combat that is if we kind of copy their model and we're out everywhere. And so to do that, we're going to have to cut back. I think that that's going to be beneficial for several reasons. We've also had objections of people saying, well, you know, I'm already in the journal. I don't really see a reason. I'm running in the print product. I don't really see a reason to go in Mud and Mag. We're reaching the same audience or whatever that is. So I think that this will spearhead a lot of those objections and make it better for our customer. Does anyone have any questions about that?
So if we're going to print 20,000, we distribute it.
That's right. And there's still essentially the same amount of copies are going to go into Union and Pontotoc. It's not like we're not going to have copies there or the same amount of copies even. They're just not going to be in the papers. They're going to be in freestanding locations.
Are you going to arrange distribution in Pontotoc Union County?
What do you mean? Like someone to distribute? Yes. We have a distributor who's already delivering to certain locations, just not those. Well, she is freestanding in those, but she'll heighten that, and she'll do it for both months within the period. So for the April-May issue, and this will go in effect June, July, not April-May, but it will go for the whole 2 months. June, she'll deliver half, and then July, she'll deliver half.
I missed that. So we would distribute this for our 5-month plate. We distribute the first part of the month and then the first part of the next month.
Right now, we don't. I mean,
Okay.
we don't have enough copies to follow the second month and hit the locations again freestanding, but that's the plan with June, July, which is why we're pulling out of these. So we'll have more copies to do that with, to keep us top of mind that whole duration before the next issue comes out.
It's actually going in more counties, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just Pontotoc, Union, and Lee. It's going to be in Monroe and Lafayette. Pretty broad distribution, much broader than we can do just going home delivery because we were having to scale back so much.
This is going to be better for your customer on all fronts. And I think it will directly confront any kind of objections we're getting from some of our competitors, which is what we want to do. I know y'all are sick of hearing people come in, or your advertisers, when you go in there, say, well, I'm deciding to run an invitation, or I really think that this is just a better route for me, or they're giving me a better rate. I guarantee you I am sicker of hearing you come in and tell me that, because this is my product that I love. So we'll do whatever we need to do. If you have any ideas of how we can hit them hard, hit them where it hurts, please let me know. I'm willing to do anything.
What I also am hearing from this is, if this is successful, it could also be turned around the other way, where the weeklies are getting that same section from, say, their advertising and invitation. We might be able to work out something like this as well to give them additional coverage since we have all these profits.
Sure. And if you want to know the background behind this, which I'm somewhat reluctant to say, but I think you need to know it. And I wasn't aware of what the offer so this is news to me as well. You notice Sarah Brooks not here. If you didn't know, she's expecting, so she has a doctor's appointment today. But she called me yesterday, very upset. I was driving down the road when she called, and I don't know if y'all met Chris Suber. He was here for a few days. He had his orientation last Friday. Sarah Brooks had hired him to work in sales with her in the Oxford-Lafayette County area. And his wife works for Invitation Tupelo as a designer. She was called in by Rachel, the publisher and owner of Invitation, yesterday, and told that either she leaves Invitation or he leaves the Journal family. They needed to make a decision which family they wanted to be a part of. You know, for me, that's just saying, okay, it's on now. We need to have that mentality of we need to just really spank them. I'm sorry, but that was a terrible thing to do. I could have taken the position of Chris and said, we can hire you because your wife works with Invitation, but I'm not threatened by that. But if they want to play that game, they're playing it with the wrong company, because we've got too many products to bring to the table and do things like this. So you just need to have that mentality of, we haven't lost our mind giving away free ads in the Journal and any weekly. We just need to eat their lunch.
What did they do?
No, Chris left. He gave Sarah Brooks his notice yesterday, and he's gone because his wife was very upset with the way she was treated. I don't blame her, but you know, that's their decision who they want to work for.
At the end of the day, we know our products work, because for as many people that come in to me and say, well, they're going to do Invitation this time, or they're getting a better rate in Invitation, I get equal amounts of people say, you know what, Mud and Magnolias works better for me than Invitation. We give it a shot. We do this. So the other point of doing this is to get these people out of these other products to prove that we're the best product in this market, because we know that. And if any of you don't, come see me for a couple of minutes. We are better on all fronts. We offer them more on all fronts. So there's just really no excuse. Any kind of objection you get, we can pretty much overcome it. Thank you.
And on top of all of that, I mean, frankly, when these folks take business from us, I mean, they're cutting into your pocketbook. You know, that ought to make you mad. Makes me mad. Okay. You know, food off your table, extra pair of shoes for your kids, whatever. I think it's an overstatement to draw that comparison. So, anything else?
Just can be effective for this issue. So again, I know we don't have a lot of time, but there's some people that you've been talking to that you're getting that objection from. Use this to your benefit. I'm going to send this email out. I have it already typed up. I'll send it out after this meeting so that you have all the details you need.
So no matter what time they commit to the next 3 issues, quarter, half, or full, they get, buy 3, get 1 free, and publication of Mud Mag, and then they get a quarter in the Journal and a quarter in a pick of their weekly.
That's right.
Okay.
And also, I'm going to emphasize, I said at least a quarter in Mud and Mag. So if they're doing a 1/6 of a page, if you want to have some kind of offer, you can come see me. We'll handle that offline, but this is not going to apply to $100 ads. Quarter page at a minimum.
And these are advertisers that are in our competition,
But not current.
not newly
Don't do all that.
or
Don't come in with somebody that's been running in Mud and Mag. I'm not going to be happy about that. Somebody that's in a competitor's publication that does not run regularly with us. I'm not saying that they've never run with Mud and Mag, but you know, I mean, y'all know your customer and not regularly in Mud and Mag. Okay, I'm really done this time.
Hi, I'm Guy Clinton, and I'm a culinary specialist from the Taste of Home Cooking School. And boy, have I got a story to tell you. Before before each cooking school, there's a vendor area where local sponsors can showcase their business, meet new customers, and sell their products. It's a great opportunity to be part of such a popular event in the community and reach hundreds of people at once.
For local sponsors, it's a great way to get into the community that you might not normally always get to do. You're in your brick and mortar location, but you need to go out, meet the public, so that they know that you exist. And this way you get to showcase your goods, your products to them, and then they come visit you at their store, or maybe they shop for you online.
We know through marketing results that when we engage with a particular audience, we have a much better marketing result. And the Taste of Home show allows us to hit a really great demographic of women who actually are make the buying decisions for their home.
One of the cool things about a Taste of Home cooking school is the environment. People come here with their friends, with their family, with their children, with their spouses, multi-generation families, all excited to learn and have a fun night out.
We have sponsors who come back year after year and enjoy the show and say that they make some of the nicest connections here for customers that come back time and time again to their stores.
Local sponsors can participate in a Taste of Home cooking school no matter what your budget. There are countless opportunities for you to highlight your business from a small level to making a big splash in your community.
One of the greatest things about being here is I get to see the people interacting. They have questions, I can answer them right away. I get to go through all the different products with them, and we can communicate on the different things that they have questions on.
I would tell other businesses that are considering participating in the Taste of Home event to take advantage of it. What do you have to lose? You know, you can be face-to-face with potential clientele and be able to sell yourself a lot better if you can have a conversation with them and show them how you can benefit from working with them.
The show's about to start. I need to get back on the stage. We are coming to your community next, so get in the mix. You want to be a part of this. Trust me, it is a blast.
Alrighty. That is our event that's coming up in just a couple of months. It's a fantastic event, and we are extremely excited about it. It's going to be an event that pulls from the entire region, maybe even an hour in each direction. Last time, Kim Serviceman had it at the Gazette. The people came from Alabama and from all over to come to it. We are going to cap the ticket sales at 700, but we expect it to sell out. So face-to-face, one-on-one time with decision makers is a huge opportunity for our advertisers out there, and they'll want to be a part of that. So if you guys can get your sponsors out there, we got lots of sponsorship packages. I have emailed this a couple of times, but anyone that wants extra copies here, it should be at least one for everybody. This one that I've sent out 1,000 times, there's enough for everybody. This one is maybe a slightly shorter. I ended up getting some time I was running out of here like a mad woman to get in here. But this is May the 17th. Tickets go on sale, not this coming Monday, but the next. All of the major sponsors, not just people that have something in the goodie bag, or not just someone that has a booth, but all of our major sponsorship packages, their logo will be on all of our promotional material. We've got a couple of billboards already. We've got email newsletter with here at the Journal, the Taste of Home email newsletter. We've got lots of promotional material coming up. So that's why the deadline for becoming a sponsor is next Tuesday, April the 16th. Now, can they be a sponsor after that? Probably, but they're going to be missing out. So we are going to cut their deadline for sponsorship sales is Wednesday, April the 16th. That means we've got 1 week to really sell these sponsorships. The executive chef, the big March 16th. March. Oh. Hear what I mean, not what I'm saying. Make sure
Somebody else did that in their notes.
So it's going to be a fantastic event. Tickets are going on sale Monday the 21st. So there's going to be lots of promotion and advertising going on there. The biggest sponsorship out there, the executive chef, is taken. then the box treat sponsor is taken. There is a sponsor on there that says wine sponsor, but we can't actually take a wine sponsor because Lake Forest South changed the rules and we can't give out wine without buying it from them. So therefore, we're looking for some type of a beverage that will go along with a box treat. That could be like some kind of coffee shop. That could be smoothies. That could be Coca-Cola. That could be a lot of different things. But we just want something to make our VIPs feel special for that one. So if you guys have any questions, please see me. If I'm not around, Pam knows every bit as much as I do. And Mission is pretty heavily involved in this too. So there's lots of people around that know a lot about this. Yes, ma'am.
I go to like little events like this and I can see home businesses that have sponsorships. So I know that. Yeah, ready to wrap it up. Like Arbonne is a big, I know that's the one here. Yeah, Arbonne is in Bulls. I was just making.
Yeah, we made our, if you want just the booth only, we made those booths extremely affordable. So those units, yes, absolutely.
Will we allow multiple clouds on the same? Like on that one, like, there's certain people that have Premier Georgia's. We allow
We'll just say one of each.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they can sell at their booth. You don't have to just get out information.
So I know along with we can print out things.
Yes. Yes. So you can sell booth samples. There's an option for booth space on the bottom. Yeah, one side of that sheet, the one that has like the executive chef, sous chef, pastry chef, that's the side that anybody can do any option on that page. You don't have to print tickets to be a ticket sponsor. You don't have to make bags to be the bag sponsor. It's just looking for someone that looking for that kind of extra exposure. On the other side, though, the electronic appliance sponsor, the grocery sponsor, we are looking for specific people on that side. That's how the sheet is broken up. All right. All right. The other thing I just wanted to share with you guys real quick. I'm gonna be sending this out via email, but how do I? Okay, I've got an online most wanted list. I'm having technical issues. I will email it to you guys immediately. But this is just a breakdown of what of these $150 spots are currently available. And that's including the spots on all the weeklies, the blogs, and a couple of the special pages on the daily. I'm only including the most premium spots, the top leaderboards and top squares on the homepage and on the site. And so that's all that I've included on this list. But it's letting you guys know right now what's available if you guys want to go out and sell it. I know that I'm going to be encouraging people to go ahead and close that up, sell that out real quick. So if you guys want to, if you want to take your weekly and sell it out to your local businesses, then get it sold this week. Here's your fair warning, because those things, they're good inventory. We're going to have them sold. So I will send out that right now, and well, actually right after this meeting. And that's all I have. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Yeah, try to shoot us up for this. Okay, let's see. Charlie?
First, I'll ask a question. I'll see who looked at it. Who saw something wrong on the agenda? Can't look now. Hopefully, look, we can. Anybody see anything wrong on the agenda? I did. The time. We got to 8:30, but still got. I was looking to see if we're staying on schedule, but we're not, so that'll be corrected next time. That's just in the details. A couple of quick notes. One thing that we've talked about in here is, the difference between, the daily market and the weekly markets. And we thought it would be a good idea. I think this has been told to the dailies, but once a quarter, we're going to have this meeting at a weekly location. Road trip. We think it would be good for you, one, to see the atmosphere where we're working, as well as to see our communities. We can give you skinnies, we can tell you about it, we can draw you a picture, but until you're actually there and can see it, It's a little bit different. So we'll work out those details and get a schedule together and communicate that to everybody, but we think that'll be beneficial for everybody because I would gather a lot of folks in here that have never been to some of our weekly newspapers. Some probably to none of them. So I think it'll be a good field trip for everybody and hopefully a very good learning experience. Kubus calculator, just so you all know, that is being updated as we make changes. We recently made changes for Itawamba when we stopped publishing our TMC. We updated our rates and took it off there. I know Lisa was turning in information for Pontoon and Sentinel as well. So anytime you have any changes whatsoever to your rates, make sure IT knows that, because as soon as they make that change, it'll be good for everybody. So that is staying current the way it's set up now. Also, Rosemary asked me to remind everybody, please make sure you're not scheduling to run in a TMC for Itawamba, Pontotoc, or Ripley, or the Sentinel. Occasionally, folks just out of habit are still, we can't make that go away from BrainWorks because it's in there for history, but don't pick the combo package or the TMC product because it doesn't exist anymore. Just pick the actual newspaper. And then the last thing I have on here is just a reminder that second Wednesday of every month, we do have these samplings. Great time for folks to be in those 3 county papers because it's going to every household. We did make a decision yesterday because we've had some issues this first couple of times getting these delivered. I didn't have a chance to tell you this. One thing we're going to do is make sure on Wednesdays our papers are going to our paid subscribers first, and then on Thursday the sample papers will be delivered. This is a lot of papers, and they're having trouble getting them done, and they've made some had some hiccups to where folks aren't getting them. And this way, one, we're certain inserts are going to our paid customers first. But certainly, it's an opportunity everybody should take advantage of at least during that second week of the month. So, Lisa, you got anything?
Okay.
Question on the week, the second week when you send that out, the rate staying the same?
Yeah. What it did. And that's the reason I said Kubus has been updated because we all made some changes to rates. I think Lisa's may have said changes. They got rid of that because some of us sold our shoppers differently. We increased our rate, and it's increased for all the time. So yeah, it's a deal. You can't get that anywhere.
But they are going to deliver these on Thursday.
The sample papers, yes.
Papers.
Subscribers on, yeah, because yesterday was just horrendous. But yeah, it was bad. But this way they can get them done and make sure we're getting to other old houses that next day. And since it's a free paper to those folks, hopefully it will be fine. They're fine. We just need to let our advertisers know.
And this paid subscribers get their papers on time.
Okay.
I found out they're home at 6:30 in the morning.
Okay. All right, just real quickly, I think we've pretty much nailed down the process with Leanne Kruger and our preprint business. Just as a reminder, any agency where the decision is not made here locally is her responsibility. Those accounts are and have been handed off to her. I think we're pretty much by now everybody on the same page on that. But that does also include national ROP. So just bear that in mind. Any agency type business that you encounter, somebody calls in to you, you hand that off, and Misha can help facilitate that. If you're not sure if it's your account or not, or should be Leanne's, start with Misha if you want to, or just call Leanne directly, and Leanne will make that decision as to whether that falls under her purview or whether no, you go ahead and proceed with working that account. So again, that does include national ROP. So any questions about that? We've discussed it several times in the past as well. Okay, we're going to forego the recognition. We'll catch up on that next month for the first quarter of this year. So we'll move right into our training. We're going to watch a video that, as you can see, is exactly 10 minutes long. This is a good video. Deals with cold calling and how to overcome the initial objection from the customer and at least get into a conversation. Because if we get into a conversation with the sales talent that we have in this room, we've got a good shot of selling. So this guy's pretty good. And then Angie's going to kick off the discussion, and this needs to be a discussion like we had last time. Everybody pitching in and participating. But Angie's going to kind of kick that off after the video with some of the maybe her best practices as it relates to cold calling and overcoming those initial objections and stalls and so forth. So here we go.
Hey everybody, Bob McGinnis. Some of my presentation pack and live training clients have asked for a refresher on the very beginning of the sales process, those difficult first 30 seconds of a cold call where you're dealing with all the initial upfront stalls and objections. This coaching video focuses on this one critical piece. You'll still want to follow the entire sales process I taught you, but this will definitely help you get past those initial objections. Really, one of the toughest things you can do as an ad rep is cold call. It can be so uncomfortable and frustrating. Many ad reps dread it, as I once did, and so as a result, often cold calling is kept to a minimum or replaced by easier, much less traumatic, but usually less effective approaches like calling on the phone first to ask for permission to stop in or emailing. So let's talk about that first. One of the cardinal rules of any kind of selling is don't email them if you can call them, and don't call them if you can walk in. And with local newspaper ad sales, you can usually walk in. I know it's strange to just walk into places. They don't want you there, at least initially. We'll talk about changing that in a minute. I know it's tempting for you to just phone or email a prospect. It seems quick and less stressful. But think about how much easier you're making it for them to say no or just ignore you. It's much harder to ignore someone face to face. So if it's a walk-in storefront as opposed to an office, for example, bite the bullet and drag yourself in there. So you walk in, and after you introduce yourself to the prospective advertiser, as I'm sure you've experienced before, their eyes glaze over and they're going to be caught up in thinking about how to get rid of you and stop listening to everything you're saying. They start saying things like, I have no time, I have no money, my budget is all set, you're too expensive, nobody's reading your newspaper, print is dead, and your newspapers don't work. Don't make the mistake of ignoring their struggle to get rid of you like I was taught to do. It's the thing that will kill your cold call before it even gets started. And don't make the mistake of just answering the objections either. They don't want your circulation or readership numbers, how many page views you're getting online. When they give you objections, they don't want to know the answer. They just want you to leave. Not because of anything that has to do with you, but because they don't want to be sold. So, what can you say? Agree with them. Lower their resistance by initially agreeing with any objection they give you. Focus on lowering their resistance first, or any direct answer to their objections will fall on deaf ears. So let's go through all the objections, but let's start with the mother of all objections, which, as I'll explain in a minute, virtually every other objection is based on, which is response. What if they say your newspapers don't work for them? Just agree with them for a little while so you can actually continue meeting with them and get to the good stuff. Say something like, I understand you're not the first business to tell me this. We have some other people who do wonderfully with our newspapers, but there are some others that can't seem to get a response to save their lives. They spend a lot of money, they see nothing in return, and it's incredibly frustrating for them. It's like they're just throwing their money away. Now stay with me here. You're just trying to lower their resistance, and you should begin to see a change in the dynamic of the meeting at this point. The prospect should start feeling like he's not being sold. He may even stop trying to get rid of you. But keep going. You're not done lowering resistance yet. To completely eliminate it, show him an example to illustrate how right he actually is. Show him an advertiser that didn't do well with your newspaper. That's right. Show him what we call before ad. Say something like, this guy here ran with us a number of times and got no response. It was killing him. It was like he was throwing his money away. And act like you're about to leave. of course, you won't leave. Now that his resistance is at rock bottom, almost as an afterthought, say, oh, I can't imagine you'd be interested in this, but once we apply some proven advertising techniques, we got him a dramatic response. Show him the after ad and go on to say he sold out of this and this. And in fact, he found we were the most effective medium in the market. Then say, now, I can't imagine you'd be interested, but I'd be happy to show you some of the techniques we use to help this advertiser get such a great response. In about 30 seconds, you'll have changed the entire dynamic of the sales call. Your prospect will see that you're not trying to sell him and that there's a good possibility that if he gives you a couple of minutes, you could actually dramatically increase his sales, which is, again, the only thing he really cares about. If you need a refresher on the response model, remember I covered in every role play included with each of my weekly presentation pack videos. The great thing about this method of dealing with upfront stalls and objections is that it works for virtually every objection they'll throw at you at the beginning of the sales call, but you have to agree with them first to get them to listen to you. So what if the objection isn't your newspapers don't work? What if it's one of the other ones you're getting? Well, let's go over them. But the great thing is the objection always goes back to a response objection. You've just got to get them to say what they're really thinking. Because what they're really thinking when they give you any upfront stall and objection is, you're not here to make me money. I don't think you're here to get me a response. Every local ad sales objection can be traced back to response. As you've heard me say in the live selling courses, if you walked into a prospective advertiser and put a big bag of money on his desk, on his counter, and said, if you run with us, I'll give you all this money, there wouldn't be any moaning and groaning about rates and budget, circulation, and the recession, print is dead. So instead, you've got to first translate the objection they're saying into the one they're thinking, and then you can get the sales process started, similar to how I explained above. So if they say you're too expensive, say, so what you mean, what you're saying is, for the money you need to spend with us, you don't think you'd ever get the response to make a profit, with our rates being where they are. It's interesting, you're not the first person to tell me that. In fact, I have an advertiser here who found we were really expensive because every time he ran, he didn't get any response. Now you're back to the response objection. See how it works? And then you proceed like I showed in the first example, showing an ad that wasn't working for someone else, acting like you're leaving, and then showing the successful after ad and offer to teach the techniques you use to help the example advertiser get a great response. If they say nobody's reading your newspaper, there's not enough circulation, or print is dead, say, I understand. So what you're saying is there aren't enough people out there reading our newspaper, not enough physical copies out there to get a response. Again, by getting the prospect to agree with that statement, which they always do, now you've brought back the focus to response. Same thing with an objection where in a recession, business is tough, I can't advertise. You turn it into a response objection by asking, so you're saying there are not enough people out there to get a response in this economy. Not enough people buying. Just keep getting the prospect to focus on response. You can later explain how another advertiser eventually realized there are plenty of people out there about to buy when he used the newspaper properly, and then you go on to show the response techniques, you use the response model. It even works with so-called smoke objections, like I have no time or money. Of course, what they're almost always saying is, I have no time or money for you, so treat it the same way, but with a slight twist. Tell them, that's okay, here's my card, give me a call when you have time or money, and I'd be happy to come back and show you other people who never had any time or money. You know why they never had any time or money? Because whenever they did spend the time or money to advertise, nothing ever happened. It was like they were throwing their money away. In fact, I actually have an example here of an advertiser, and of course, don't leave and follow the same approach. You'll be amazed at how often when approached like this, they'll have plenty of time or money to spend with you. So, just to quickly recap, the key here is don't directly answer the objection that they're giving you at the beginning of the cold call. Understanding that they're just trying to get rid of you can go a long way to getting you to the next step. Instead, deal with the resistance first by agreeing and then by shifting the focus over to response, the real objection, and you'll be able to get through that initial resistance so you can move on and fix all their incorrect theories with the response model. Then you can work on getting the right information about their business and products and competition and target customers out of them. When you return with an ad design using the response model, you can prove they'll get a great response just like I taught you, and demonstrate in the role play videos each week. So take a look at those. Keep going over this video until you get this little move down for any objection. You can even watch it on your iPhone or iPad or whatever mobile device you have. It plays on all of them. Even right before you go into an account, you can take a look at it. I guarantee it'll dramatically increase your ability to get through those upfront stalls and objections and help you move from vendor mode to partner mode. And when combined with the rest of my techniques, ultimately not only help you sell more ads, but sell larger and more frequent advertising that actually works for the prospective advertiser. Anyway, I hope this helped. Call me if you have any questions. Who knows, you might actually start to enjoy cold calls. Good luck.
All right. I don't know if I enjoy cold calls or not. You don't have to enjoy it, just have to do it.
I'm gonna start out.
Hey everybody, Ryan Dorn here from 360 Ad Sales Training and Strategy, and on behalf of my friends over at Schwecky Media, thanks so much for checking out this booster training video today.
Teaser for next month.
Alright, I'm gonna start out by sharing when I made a cold call. I started working a couple of years ago on a contract for the Progress Journal, and I went in to one of the best customers that I have now. When I went in, she did not know me, and I did not know her. I went in, I introduced myself to her, and I could tell right off from the get-go that it wasn't going to go good. You know, sometimes you can just tell before you ever even start out that it's not going to go good, you know. So I just completely turned it around. I didn't start really asking her to advertise. I started talking about her business and the quality of her products that she had. What was selling good, what was not selling good. She had children's clothes, and I did not know that she had children's clothes at the time. So I said something about, well, I see you've got children's clothes. And she said, yes. And I said, well, I didn't know that, you know. So that opened that door right there, because I said, well, you know, I wouldn't have known that unless I'd have came in here. So, you know, I said, you need to advertise those, because in Pontiac, there's not a lot of, there is now, there's more now, but then there was not a lot of places that had children's clothes. And so I kind of built on that. Before I left, she ran the, I was on the Valentine's section. She ran the Valentine's ad. She's one of my best customers that I have now. There's not a whole lot of things that I ask her to do that she does not do. There's a few things that she, you know, she does not do. But this Christmas, I was in there and I bought some Christmas gifts. And when I started to leave, I said, I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas. I appreciate your business, you know, that you give me each year. And she looked at me and she said, I appreciate you too. And she's never, you know, for somebody to tell you that, and I know that she meant it, you know, that I was helping her as far as her business and her advertising went. But I've got 3 ideas that I'm going to leave with you. The first one is, of course, the great quality of products that they have in their business, in their store. It could be new cars, used cars, you know, just whatever it is. When you go in, kind of scan, look for stuff you can talk about to them, stuff that maybe you didn't know they had, that they can advertise. Second one is build their trust in you. Of course, you've got to, that's going to go in with the third one, is being consistent with going back to see them. Don't give up on them. But on that second one, when you build their trust, I mean, go back and see them, whether you know, you can go in and see them and not even ask them to advertise. Just say, hey, I stopped in, see how you're doing, how your sales is doing. And you can turn around and leave and not even ask them. You know, they may say before you leave, hey, I need to advertise something. Or, you know, but that's, and I don't know, my sales way may be an old fashioned way. That's kind of what I call it, but I like to know my customers. I like to help them. I don't want to put them in something that's not going to help them. And we do have a plus in our weekly market, to where a lot of people will know you. You're local. I went to school. I graduated from Pontotoc School, so I know a lot of people in Pontotoc. They know me. But you have your new businesses that come in that, you know, you don't know them, and you have to go in and call them. And, you know, you just have to go in and get to know them. And I have people right now I can think of top of my head that if I went in, they'd say, well, I don't need to advertise, you know. And they're hard to get to advertise. I might can get them to advertise 1 or 2 things a year, and that's about it. But they've got that mindset, you know, that they don't need to. And another thing I think about is well, just think about how much more or how much better your business would be if you did advertise. You say it's good now, but just think about how much better it would be if you did advertise. That's about all I've got.
Let's open it up for discussion. Anybody have any suggestions, tips, specifically for cold calling and overcoming these initial stalls and objections? I mean, we've all experienced exactly what he was talking about on the video. Anybody?
I like what you did on what Angie said. I remember when I first started working here, I was terrified because I didn't know, I wasn't confident enough that it's good to go by and introduce yourself and not sell anything. When the first approach, sometimes it's just good to get on your card, who you are, get to know you don't have to be, you know, willing to deal, and you walk in the door. They like that. Leave a notebook in the car. Yeah, that was one of the things. Like, don't take anything in, just go in and just like, here I am. I don't have any tricks up my sleeve.
I just wanted to come by and introduce myself.
Build
rapport.
I think they made you feel like you're working for them, so you're just not there to help them turn out.
It's that building the trust.
Danny, when I first took over Scruggs, Mitchell's all about timing kind of guy. So what I learned to do with him is I'd go in here 2 or 3 times a week just so that, and I made sure he saw me. And what had happened is that put pressure on him, and it also was a reminder to him. He had thought of something that passed his mind, you know, at some point. So a lot of times he'd say, hey, you know, I need to run something on this because he's got some inventory that's old or something's going on there. So, you know, just being there puts pressure on that customer, and they feel somewhat obligated to do something when they see you.
You know, I think Angie's point with going back in and checking on the customer with just how are you doing, how did the sale go, is so important to us because we're asking them to invest their money to promote a sale, and to go back and ask them how it went, how did it work, it makes them know that you care enough, one, to ask, and that your goal is to help them build their business. So by asking, just asking how it went, that helps build that trust that when you make the suggestions to them, it's because you're a partner with them trying to help them build it.
And that's also telling them that we believe in our product and that we believe that it would have worked well for you.
Yeah.
How many of you, be real honest, if you don't raise your hand, that's fine. How many of you enjoy cold calling? I kind of like it, you know, because I feel like when I walk in that door that very first time, I'm on even ground with him. He doesn't know anything about me. I don't know anything about him or her. So, you know, I kind of enjoy it because I look at it as what could this become, you know. So, and I don't mind meeting strangers, and most of you don't either because you wouldn't be in this kind of work if you did. So, look at a cold call as something exciting. It's like going somewhere you've never been before. And how many of you, do any of you ever recall that you actually made a cold call? I mean, an honest to goodness self.
Tell them
where you had no contact with the person whatsoever. You walk in cold the first time and actually walk out with a sale. Anybody, does that happen?
Well, yesterday I went by that Tupelo hearing service to find that Zounds, figure that out. But I ended up just talking with them and just wanted to come by and introduce myself. And anyways, he's wanting to, you know, start running, you know, getting in the paper and stuff. So it went really good.
Was the right place that she thought it was, going looking for that particular target, and just talking to them and finding out a little bit about it. Yeah, I think I need that, guys. Right. So sometimes you get those. It's nice.
All right. Any other comments? Any other insights, thoughts about cold calling and overcoming those initial stalls and objections?
Back to the video, do we have examples of before and after ads that we've done for customers? One that worked, or one that didn't work, and one that did?
I think I might have one. It's small. That's a good one. But I do have one. If you don't have a full page, they might appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it was around Christmas time. Greatest hits music and bookstore.
It'd be great to have some central location where we could have those. And I know we asked for testimonials, but if we also have just that ad that went along with it that said, here's an ad that got great response in the newspaper.
Can you pick those up?
Yes, the first ad, he loved it. It was cute, but it got no response. So we changed it up a little bit, and he ended up liking the second ad. And he did get a response from the second ad. So
perfect example. If you can get that chair.
I will.
Good point. Yeah, others think of anybody, you know, think about somebody that was doing, you know, fit that same scenario or add an actor ad, and just share it with me or whoever, and we'll get it distributed. And we can all use those ads. It doesn't have to be one of our accounts. Anything else?
And I think one of the points that Angie made that I really like, and I know you've heard me say it before a lot of times, it's hard to do, especially when you're selling, is to just ask the customer if it worked for them, and to hear that it didn't, and then to be comfortable accepting that and doing something about it. And I'm reminded of that yesterday. Closed the deal with one of a pretty large print customer from Jackson, Tennessee. He runs a bunch of automotive products for various dealerships throughout the West Tennessee area. And I was just reminded of that in a conversation with him. He was telling me that he had recently gotten word that one of the dealerships was talking about how his ad didn't work in his product, and that he was leaving the meeting that he and I were in and going to this dealership. And he fully intended to offer that guy a free ad or two, one to just, but also, and the point that y'all have been making is to change up his design and make sure that the ad works. And I think we do the customer a disservice when we allow them to run something that we know when they are scheduling it and we're scheduling it, it's not going to work. And this is really the point I was going to Angie's point is we don't need to just take their money. We will lose at the end of the day if all we do is take their money. If it's not driving traffic to their store and then helping them make sales, I mean, they've got a significant role in that too, and we need to help get them there. And if we're not doing our part effectively, at the end of the day, we're not going to have a long-term relationship with that customer. That's getting a little off of the subject of closing at that point that Andy made just reminded me of. We got to ask these folks if it's working for them, because if we're not, we don't know. It could or could not, and if it's not, they're not telling us, they'll just walk away one day. We won't know really why, because we didn't have any knowledge of it was working. But at least we're on top of it. We can do things like give them a discount, give them a free ad, if they will change the design up. And I know that's just almost unheard of in our industry to do that, but we can do that. Create more goodwill with customers, get them over the negative attitude of print doesn't work, because we all know it does. We just have to get over that myth and that perception that's out there sometimes.
And piggybacking off of that, you mentioned building trust, and I feel like that indirectly, you go in and say, well, how did it work? And bring solutions to the table and really show that you're invested in, okay, well, let's change it up. Maybe that didn't work for you. Let's do this. That builds that trust up where they realize, wait, this person really cares about my business and the success of it, not just their pocketbook and what they can sell me.
The same thing applies for online. Like I have online advertisers who I will call them after a month of their ad and say, is this working for you? If they say it's not, then I'll brainstorm with Ashley. I'll come up with a new ad design. We'll do something. I always find a solution until it's working, until it's attracting clients to me.
Anyone else? Angie, thanks. Appreciate that. Good insights. Good insights. And the rest of it is good insights. All right. Real quickly, one of the things we're really focusing on here at the Daily is maximizing sales time. Maximizing sales time. And I would challenge the ones of you in our weekly markets to do the same thing. Find a way to make more calls every day. Find a way. Find a way. Whether it's, for our inside folks, staying on that phone during peak sales time, which I consider to be 9 a.m. to noon and 1 p.m. to 4. Our outside folks, I'll tell you that I'm encouraging them. Basically, I don't want to see you in the building during those peak sales times. Be out there selling. Find a way to make 4, 5, 6 more quality sales calls every day. We've got to do that if we're going to be successful. So we should pass that challenge on to our folks in our weekly markets as well. So, all right. Anything else before we split up? Anything else, anyone?
I wanted to mention something going back to, and I know I'm probably maxed out on my talking time, but the competitor thing that I was talking about, I thought about it after I said all of that. Please don't go into your advertiser and be like, we hate invitation. Don't do that.
We do, but that's our rule.
Don't specifically name call competitors. I mean, obviously go in with that momentum that you're wanting to take that business and you're wanting to help them. But I don't know, I have weird feelings about you, like,
yeah, we
calling people out.
These folks, I call them, our folks here will tell you what I call them. What are they? Come on, starts with an A. Ankle biters. Okay. Can you run right? This video here goes out on YouTube. I got ankle biters. They come in, they pick the low hanging fruit, and take money out of our pockets. Now, somebody tell me how we stop that. What's the best way to stop that? Drive up all the money in your market, sell all the base revenue you can, make those extra sales calls. If you drop all the money in your market, if you drop all the money in New Albany, there's not going to be any money for somebody else involved. Same with Pontotoc or wherever. Drive up the money in your market. Same here in Tupelo. Drive up that money through long-term commitments, base revenue, et cetera, et cetera. And that's how you get rid of these people. All right. Okay, I think the weeklies are staying here, and everybody else is going to. Thank y'all.
Be sure and sign the training sheets.
I told you so much else.
Yeah.